There's a secret to success. Everybody hopes to find. There's a key to the world, and it's mine, all mine. There's a world of opportunity filled with possibility and dreams that I'm gonna find. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. I've got a blueprint for the future, a brand new design. I'm playing at the money game, winning all the time. There's a world of opportunity filled with possibility and dreams that I'm going to find. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes, oh, I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. All that I can see, all that I can be, infinite prosperity, so inside of me. I got a millionaire. I got a millionaire. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire. You got a millionaire. I got a millionaire. You got a millionaire. I got a
Untitled can take you to a place inside yourself that you can't go by yourself.
How you doing, Brian? Good to see you again.
I thank you for having me.
Listen, if you're going through something in life, man, and you look and you don't feel like you're actually moving with passion and whatever your endeavors are, reach out to my man John. You know what I'm saying? He got some great perspectives.
John Tallarico is without question one of the most beautiful human beings that I have met in the whole 60 years. And he happens to be, without question, the most generous person. He is the star in our company, an absolute star.
John is one of the best coaches out there.
John in my life is a coach, a mentor, and someone who I truly value a lot. He's changed my life, and I know he can change yours as well.
Glad to join you. Thank you for having me, John, and thank you all, for the rest of you, for joining me. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you. And
All right. Welcome everybody to Networking Secrets. My name is Fernanda. I am the COO of The Million in You, and I am so excited to see you guys here joining us today. Please let us know in the chat where you're joining us from. I am here. We are actually here in Arizona. We live in Gilbert, Arizona. And one thing that we just noticed, which is very weird, I've never seen this before, is when a lot of you guys were logging into Zoom, for whatever reason, you guys were logged in under Abby Fosdick, which is a wonderful, wonderful member of our team. So if you see that name under your screen, make sure that you please change your name so we have the right names with the right person or people, please. Now, I'm going to go over some announcements really quick, just housekeeping stuff to make sure that you guys get the most out of these amazing and transformational 3-day event that we put together. And so I'm going to start doing that, and then I will introduce John, and he will come over here, and he has a lot of information to share with you guys. So yes, we have a lot of Abbies, and she posted the real Abby. So we have people from Oklahoma, we have Ontario, we have Idaho, Chicago. I used to live in Chicago. Where else? Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. All right. John used to live in Georgia. Where else do we have people from? Where else are you guys joining us from? Slovenia. Oh, there you go. California, New York, Philadelphia, North Carolina. Wow, amazing. Florida. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, so Canada, there you go. Kathleen Turner is joining us from Canada. That's amazing. Texas, there you go. All right, so we're gonna be live today. John's gonna be coming here, and he's gonna be starting to teach live for about 45 minutes or so. Please make sure that you give John your undivided attention. He has a lot to teach, and you guys are going to be learning a lot. Make sure that you have a notepad and a pen ready. We are going to be assigning a homework tonight. That homework, it's really the blueprint for your next $6-figure network. And so please do the homework. We'll post it as soon as we're done today. The ones of you that are joining every day, that are doing the homework, that are engaging, that we see that you guys are motivated, we're going to be giving away $1,000 prize on a course, a $1,000 course at the end of the 3 days. And so please make sure that you're here, that you're on time, that you are learning, that everything that we're doing for you guys. And our commitment is that we are going to be giving you everything that we have, so you can have all the tools to make your life a success. Aside from that, you can catch the recordings. They're going to be on YouTube. They're going to be on Facebook. The recordings are going to stay for about a week, and then we will take them down. So make sure that you do watch the recordings. You may want to watch these videos 3-4 times and make sure that you get all the nuggets out. If you have a cell phone, make sure that you don't get distracted with the phone. Put it in Do Not Disturb, turn it off, take it to another room. We do not need those distractions right now. Make sure that you give yourself the present, the gift of being here and being present during these teachings. Let me see if I have anything else for you guys. We're gonna be giving a giveaway, like I mentioned before. The sessions, we are meeting tonight, and then we're meeting tomorrow and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you join us for those 3 valuable sessions. And then we're gonna have a couple of bonus sessions Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be at noon, and everything is in your workbook. If you don't have the workbook yet, make sure that you get it. It is in your email. If you still don't see it, you send us a message. Please contact Abby, contact me, contact John, contact anyone from the team, and we will be more than happy to send you a copy of the workbook. I think that does it for all the announcements. And just about John, who is John, for any one of you guys who don't know John, he is known as the connector. He has, through the principles that he's going to be teaching on these 3-day events, he has been able to master an unbelievable network that he has then been able to convert into amazing results for his life, and beautiful partnerships, and even more important, amazing friendships. So he has been able to, he has walked the walk, and he's going to now teach you what he's been able to do and how he's been able to do it. So make sure that you pay a lot of attention. He is a very amazing man, very knowledgeable, and I have the privilege of also calling him my fiance. So without further ado, John, are you here?
I am here. Thank you. Thank you, Fernanda, very much. Right. Welcome, everybody. I am super excited. Thank you for that great introduction, Fernanda. Welcome, everybody. We've been working on this event for a while. I am really excited. I see we have people from all over the world. I see we have Australia. Mayan, great to see you there from Melbourne, Australia. Sonia from Yonkers, New York, South Carolina. Andrew from El Paso. My actually brother and mother lived there. We've got Canada represented here. And so New Jersey, Jermaine, welcome. Wilner, great to see you, sir. We've got some of our past clients and actually some of our current clients here as well tonight. So I'm excited. These 3 days are really going to be something that I love to teach and love to talk about, which is about building relationships and building networks. We really have been working very hard these last several weeks. I want to give a big, huge thank you and shout out to my team. They're absolutely amazing. Part of building relationships, creating relationships is actually attracting the right people in your life. And so on a professional level, I have an amazing team. Thank you to Fernanda and Abby for what she's done to help put this together. Pamela, who has just been an invaluable part of our team. Maya, for all that she does to help us. And Jarek and all the people that work behind the scenes to really bring this to you. And so again, thank you. And on a personal level, yes, obviously, Fernanda, very grateful. I've been able to attract the relationship that I've always wanted. So over these next 3 days, I'm going to be sharing with you from my own experience and also from being able to work with a lot of our students who've been able to create the life that they've always wanted. We're going to learn how to really unlock your dream life. And it all starts with, guess what? Tell me the one thing, the one word that it all starts with. Let me know in the chat, you guys. What is the one thing that it starts with to live your dream life? Turn on the noise. Paradigm, close. If you guys, Fernanda and Abby, will monitor the waiting room as well. Courage, close. Action, Sydney, close. There we go. Abby, relationships. The ability to build and create relationships is where it all begins. Connections, yes. So one other thing before we get moving too far along, there's about 3 or 4 of you. My apologies. When I sent out a text to some of you, I used a link that somehow has my wonderful operations person Abby's name on it. So if you click on the 3 buttons next to your name, you can actually, it'll say rename. Please rename yourself so I actually know who I am speaking to. So I see 1, 2, 3 people right now that have, or actually 4, that have Abby as their name. So if you click on the 3 little buttons and just rename yourself, that would be great. I love Abby, but I'm seeing all kinds of them. So please just rename yourself. And so, yes, the secret to really unlocking your dream life, to unlocking anything, is the ability to create the kind of partnerships and the kind of relationships that you want. It starts in your personal life and also in your professional life. And so by Friday, you're all going to learn the ability to connect to the people, the information, and the message that you want so you can tap into the wealth and income goals that you have. And so by Friday, my goal, my mission, and I believe most of you, if not all of you, are going to be re-inspired again and reignited to start to really go after your dream life. I'm going to give you the blueprint, the tools and strategies that you need to do just that. And so each day we're going to have a new session. We're going to be here about between 30 and 45 minutes each day, every night at 8 p.m. I want you to show up on time, make sure you're ready to go, take lots of notes, and just get rid of all your distractions. You don't want to miss a single session. Now at 8, we're also going to 8 o'clock every night. On the weekend, we're going to share with you for about 20 or 30 minutes, 2 amazing interviews with 2 of our students who are seeing absolutely phenomenal results in their life by applying what we're teaching here this week. So make sure that you actually catch those as well. The replays are going to be available all week. Fernanda told you where you can find those. Now, I'm a big believer in having, what did I just say? A relationship, a conversation. I don't want this just to be me talking to you all. I want us to really have a 2-way conversation with you. And I want you to be sharing in the chat so that we can interact. And that way I can guide and steer the content so that I can get the best results for you and you can have these massive breakthroughs. And I want this to be a workshop you're never going to forget. So let me know right now in the chat. I want to know one thing. If there were one thing that you would love to get out of these next 3 days, what would it be? Whether it's to meet somebody, whether it's to learn how to stop procrastinating, to get stuck, let me know in the chat. What is that one thing that you want to get out of these next 3 days? Great to see a lot of our clients. Min, great to see you come on as well. Let me know in the chat, you guys. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. So let me know, what is the one thing you guys want to get out? There you go. Tools for success. Excellent. How to overcome the imposter syndrome. Kimberly, excellent. Feel more comfortable meeting someone. Wonderful. What else, you guys? To do what I say I'm going to do. That's a great one, Lynn. How to connect with anyone in the world, how to research personal confidence to get the appointment set up. Wonderful. Keep it coming, you guys. All right. Be more successful. Excellent. All right. We're going to really touch on all of that. And so there's a couple things I'd like to share before we get started. Now, I've been teaching entrepreneurs and business owners the secrets to networking and success for the last 10 years. I have clients right now in over 26 different countries around the world, and combined, our clients and their businesses and our students have generated over $50 million in sales, and they have seen radical changes in the results in a very short amount of time. Just from some of them, one simple introduction, one simple relationship, a new connection that they never thought was possible. And so one of the things that they can all agree on, they disagree about a lot of things, but the one thing that they do all agree on is that at first, before they started to build those connections and relationships and powerful networks, they had to realize that they had to get the right thinking in order. They had to build that confidence, as some of you talked about, and the clarity to make it happen. So this week, I want you to take it seriously. We're going to have some fun, but I want you to work on really creating permanent change and lasting transformation in your life. And now to help you do that, Fernanda touched on it earlier, we put together this amazing workbook. It has this is the blueprint we're going to be teaching from this week that I'm going to be sharing. For me, this is worth 6-7 figures. If you follow the steps in here, and if you pay attention to what I'm going to be sharing with you and teaching you and guiding with you this week, you could launch a 6- and 7-figure business before you know it. Now, if you don't have your workbook, reach out in the chat. Abby and Fernanda are standing by. They will make sure that you get it. We'll get you the link to that. And the workbook and these 3 days, this class, are really going to serve as a catalyst to catapult you and your life to the next level. Now, another thing I found is those who get massive results and those who get them quickly are the ones who show up and they do the work, and they're willing to be coachable. They're willing to try new things because they agree that maybe the things that they've been doing are not working. And so they're open to new strategies, to new information that I'm going to guide you with this week. So make sure you're here fully present and ready to go. We're going to have a lot of fun, as I said, this week. And guess what? We're also going to give away our $1,000 coaching program. This is a self-study program that I put together, and we sell this all day long for $1,000. The person who is the most engaged, who shows up every day for these next 3 days, we're going to be giving that away on Friday. So I'm excited for that. I want you all fighting to make sure that you're going to win that. Thank you, Bernice. And Fernanda and Abby, John, anyone else, they will get you your workbook. Now, today, we're going to be talking about what is networking. And I know sometimes when I use that word, 70-80% of you start to cringe, right? You start to think, oh no, John is going to make me start to go out and meet people. But we're going to look at networking in a way that you've never looked at it before. And we're going to talk about how can you build that powerful network? And most importantly, where the foundation starts is how can you connect to the right kind of thinking to make all this possible, to lay the foundation of today. I want to be very clear on what's been going on in the world, right? Life, I think many of you, and probably all of you will agree, life has become more complicated these last 3 years than ever. Been a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of chaos, and it's time that we put an end to this. It's time that we stop feeling like we're lost and stuck and confused. And I know you all want to live a better life. I know you all are here because you realize you have something more to contribute, that you're on a mission, and I'm here to help you carry that mission out. I want to help you get rid of that worry and doubt and stop wasting time and money. No more hoping, right? No more hoping that your luck's going to change. It's time that we take back control of your financial destiny. And so what is needed, what I've found, is that we don't need to do things different anymore, because I've tried that. I know a lot of you tried it. How many of you have gone to seminars? I walked, I can't tell you, 3 or 4 times across those burning coals. I was fired up. My life was going to change. The world was going to change on Sunday night. And guess what? Within a week or two, right back to the same old thing, doing it over and over again. And I did this for decades, not creating any permanent change. And so what we're going to work on this week is making a psychological switch in how you respond to life, not to react anymore. Because when you can stay in charge of your life, no matter what's going on outside in your environment, that is complete freedom. Now, we're going to talk about 3 things today. These 3 core pillars I'm going to go over today. They're going to show you how to connect to that right kind of thinking, the right kind of goal, and the right kind of people, and the right kind of network that's going to propel you into the person that you want to become. Now, who is ready? Who's ready to make some quantum leaps in their life? Let me know. I want this again. Let's have you guys fully engaged. Who's ready to make some? There you go. Kimberly's ready. Sydney's ready. I want to see everyone say me in the chat. Ready to go, Channing. I love it. Brittany's ready. Donato's ready. Min is ready. Martisha, John is ready. Beautiful. I want all you guys to be ready, fully engaged. Bernice is ready. Now, what I've learned from studying success over these last few decades is that success really is, it's a system. And it's 95% mindset and 5% strategy. I spent many decades thinking it was a strategy, and I had to figure out how it was going to happen. How can I build these networks of powerful people and relationships? And guess what? I kept getting the same results after a while. And, you know, I would make a little bit of progress, a little bit of success. Sharon's ready as well. And back to the same old thing, same old way, no permanent change. So to create permanent change, this is what we're going to do this week. You have to first think differently, not act differently. And so before you can learn how to network and connect to celebrities, to millionaires and billionaires, to industry leaders, we have to work on our thinking. And that is what has allowed me to build. And I'll share with you in a minute. I put together a short presentation for you guys. I'll share with you in a minute. And you saw some of the relationships I've been able to build on the video if you were there to join us earlier. People like Brian Tracy, Jack Canfield, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Onyx Singal, Akon, who's sold over 50 million records. I've billionaire clients. They own one of the football clubs in England. Now, I'm going to share my story briefly in a minute, but if I can do this, any of you can. And so I'm just super grateful to be able to share what I'm going to be sharing with you all today and to teaching you how to quickly get rid of all the noise and nonsense and negativity and to get you unstuck. So let me quickly, as I said, introduce myself before we get started. Some of you may not have heard me speak before, but I want you to know who I am and how I can really help. Now, I like to say when people ask me what I do, I am a high performance results coach, because at the end of the day, when my clients come and join us and they invest their time and energy and money with me, they want results. And that's what I promise them. And if they follow the system, if they do exactly what I'm going to show them how to do, they will get the results that they want in their life. Because at the end of the day, results are the name of the game. So I also help people get them from where they are now to where they want to go, using the same tools and strategies I'm going to share with you guys today and over these next 3 days. I grew up in a blue-collar town, very small town in Flint, Michigan. For those of you who don't know, it was an auto town, decimated when the auto industry here in the United States was destroyed. Broken home. I have great parents, but by age 20, they had 2 kids in way over their heads. And they just had a very different belief system, right? They were on the 40-40 plan, right? Work for 40 years when you can retire and then enjoy your life and then start to do all the things you wanted to do. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. A lot of arguing, fighting, mistrust, abuse. And so as I grew up, I kept telling myself, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but somehow, some way, as I get older, I'm going to figure out a way to create something different for my life. And thankfully, I had a guardian angel, my grandmother, who pushed me. She gave me books. She gave me things to listen to. People like Les Brown, Og Mandino, Earl Nightingale, read Napoleon Hill, to listen to Tony Robbins. And so that mindset of fear and scarcity and victimhood, which ultimately eventually turned into anger and resentment, started to go away. And when I got my mentor, when I got my coach, Bob Proctor, he told me that I could create a new mindset and override and replace those old thoughts and those old habits. Yes, they are. Grandmas are the best, Kimberly. I agree. And at that point, I decided to dedicate my life to helping others, to doing what I love. I love to teach. I love to help people. And I love to help people overcome their past challenges and build the financial freedom so they can go out and make a difference in the world. But first, they need to make a difference in their own world. And so I've been fortunate, as I said, to be mentored by 2 of the greats. The legendary Bob Proctor, he just passed this past February. He was my coach and my mentor, and we became very close friends. But he taught me that if I could just change my thinking, I could change my world. If I could just shift my paradigms, which are habits, that everything would change. He was the greatest teacher on human success and potential. For 60 years, Bob taught millions of people around the world. And then my other mentor, the greatest on really helping people bring out their voice, clarifying their message, to get people to really pay attention so that they could disrupt their pattern of thinking, to get them to go into step into their greatness, Mr. Les Brown. And so the last 2 years have been absolutely phenomenal for us. We've built a 7-figure coaching business, helped hundreds of clients all over the world, as I said, and just recently did my TEDx talk on exactly what we're sharing here this week, how to connect to anybody in the world. As Fernanda shared with you earlier, our company is called The Million in You. We help people create the right thinking and develop the right belief system that is in alignment with that goal inside of them, that burning desire about what they truly, really want, so they can create the wealth, lifestyle, and relationships and network that they truly, really desire. And so these strategies and principles work for anyone. I know some of you might be thinking, well, is this going to work for me? Absolutely. Because relationships are everything. It doesn't matter what business you're in, whether you're in a nonprofit, whether you're a coach, whether you have e-commerce, it all comes down to relationships and connections, right? Customers, potential customers, who you come in contact with on a daily basis. So if you're an entrepreneur, a coach, or consultant, business owner, some of you may be sitting there saying, John, you don't understand. I'm an employee and I'm going to a job I don't like. Well, this is for you, because it's time you wake up and step out on what is not inspiring you and step into what is really calling you, that dream life, right? And it's time to make a change. Now, what I want you to walk away with by Friday is the master plan for your life and for your business, and empowered with this new belief system that you are unstoppable, that you are the great master and designer of the movie of your life, where you are the star, the producer, and writer and director. Now, in a time like I like to say, we become a drive-through society, right? Looking through that for that quick, instant gratification, numbing ourselves out on everything that is not important at the cost of what? Our values. I want you to have the knowledge and the skills and strategies this week to apply the information that's not going to make you compromise anything. That's going to allow you the ability to actually respond to life and all of its challenges. Not by looking for something outside of you to actually help you deal with it, but looking something inside of you to help you overcome and to respond to it. And so you can be true to yourself, your purpose, and your mission, and have the ability to create wealth and health and all the relationships that you desire. So this week is really about stepping up, you guys, stepping into the powerful network that you want to create, building the kind of relationships you want, the health, the wealth you want, and building the legacy that you want. And we're going to give you that foundation and the framework to do just that. And so let's go, you guys. I want to master plan. I love it, Sydney. I'm unstoppable. So I want to share with you guys now a short presentation that I put together for you. And let me just move over here. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Let me know, Fernanda, can you see that? You'll let me know yes? Just tell me you're unmute yourself. Can you see my screen?
No, I cannot.
Okay, 1 second, you guys. Let me go to screen share. There we go. All right, there we go. Yes?
Yes.
We are good, you guys. All right. Now, this week is about networking and relationships. Now, how would you feel? I want you to let me know in the chat right now. Let me know in the chat how you would feel if this was your kind of network. People who are worth 80 million, 200 million, 600 million, billionaires, legends, celebrities, people have stadiums named after them. How would you feel? Great. Ann says, great. If this was your network, different, I would scream with glee. Kimberly Harden says, I'd feel great, but I want more women with me. Cindy, I need to, you'll see some more women in my thing as well. As I agree with you. Yes. Unstoppable, James says. Amazing, Lynn says. How else? Empowered, Channing says. Fully abundant, Bernice says. A lot of amazings. Empowered, wonderful. Now that's what's possible, because this is what I created from not having a single connection. I was lucky if I could even connect the telephone, right? And so that's what's possible. So I want you to pay very close attention. Now, I told you earlier, you are in the absolutely right place. Search ins now. Enough is enough, right? If you're feeling stuck and confused, if you don't have the income you want, if you are not making the kind of money you want, then you are absolutely in the right place. If you don't have the life you want, if you're not waking up fired up and inspired and happy, then something's wrong, right? Life is meant to be enjoyed. And so we're going to make sure that we change that this week. If you're not sure how to get started, we're going to give you the exact way to start. Tired of living in fear? I know I did that for a very long time. And if you feel like you don't have the clear process to achieve your goals and dreams, it's causing you to stay stuck and procrastinate, you're in the right place. And I know some of you have tried a lot of different things and you're about ready to give up. And I was at that exact same point myself, where we get to that moment where just things that, when are things going to finally change for me? When am I going to have some luck or something good's going to happen to me? You're in the right place, because I'm going to share with you this week that you don't need to wait for anything outside of you. You can actually change it for yourself from the inside out. So you are in the right place if that is you. Sorry, 1 second. Now, all of them, Chell says, great. Bill Montooth, okay, great to see you, Bill, if you're here. What is it called? You want to talk about relationships? I think Bill is watching and listening. Bill and I have been friends for over well, I guess this dates me, but over, let's just say over 4 decades. Bill's watching on Facebook. He and I went to kindergarten together. Now, I think I know a thing or two about building relationships. Kindergarten and elementary, junior high, high school, and have maintained and stayed friends since then. So, Billy boy, great to see you. Now, I want you to let me know, what is it costing you to not have the right kind of network in your life? Tell me in the chat, what does it cost you in terms of dollars? Lacking in sales, not having the right number of clients or customers, not being able to expand consistency, everything Ann says, exactly. Not being able to speed of results, Lynn says, right. Not being able to hire more staff, and not being able to do things you want to do. You can't give back to your community. You can't donate to those charities. It costs me time with my family and freedom. Absolutely. Now, for a minute, just close your eyes for a second and imagine what it would be like. What it would be like. Capability compound efforts, exactly, Channing. What would it be like if you had the money you wanted, total financial freedom, the time that you wanted to spend with the loved ones and do the things that you want to do with family and friends, have the freedom to do whatever you want, have the freedom to help whoever you want, buy whatever you want, go wherever you want, that dream house, the dream car. How would that feel? Sweet peace and freedom I've never known. Well, you're about to know it this week. That's what's possible when you can master these things. Now, what did I say earlier? We have to begin to build the foundation of a powerful network, and that starts with not doing, but with thinking. We have to begin to think differently. Now, here quickly, I told you I'll share my story, and I touched on it briefly. I just want you to know that these couple little slides are about me and my business. Our company, as I shared with you, is called The Million in You. I came up with that name because I believe that all of you, all of us, have something inside of us, right? You call it whatever you want, your superpower, your mission. It is what we call the million in you. It's that one unique thing. It's your gift to the world. And that while you're here, your mission, I believe, is to discover it, to bring it out so that you can actually change your life and then start to change the lives of those that you come in contact with, and then ultimately change the world. I'm a self-taught entrepreneur. My parents never went to college. I design my own life of freedom. I get to go where I want now. I wake up when I want. I do the things I want. But I do the things that are in line with my mission, which is help change people's lives. And I've had a lot of ups and downs. I will not lie. It has not been easy. It has not been easy. I was fired from every job I've ever held. But I am also proof that if I can overcome and build this kind of relationship, so can any of you. I'm not sure who mentioned it, but someone wanted more female clients. Again, I've been able to and been very blessed to work with some amazing clients. There's Les Brown and I with Lewis Howes in Lewis's office in Los Angeles. My dear friend and mentor, Bob Proctor. My other very dear friend, Sonia Riccati. She's one of the top people, not just women, but people in the personal development space. And Damon John. I spent 2.5 years sharing the 66th floor of the Empire State Building with him. I was with Acon. We had half the floor, and Damon and the FUBU guys had the other half. And so I've been able to work with some amazing clients. There they are again. Patty Stanger, the millionaire matchmaker. Shah Rukh Khan, for those of you who know him in India, voted one of Time Magazine's 50 most influential people in the world. Onyx Singhal, 300-some million online. Grant Cardone, and so on and on. I've been able to do that. I've also devoted myself to bigger missions. The last few years, I've not been able to do what I truly love to do, which is volunteer for Starkey Hearing Foundation. There's a picture of me and actually former heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. Because of the network I've been able to build, I got him to come and volunteer his time for free. We give hearing aids to kids all over the world. And that is a wonderful project that I love to do. I also was a big brother and volunteer for free arts for abused children. That is a cause very dear to my heart for very personal reasons. And so when I say I understand what it is like to overcome anything, I truly mean that. Now, the word is networking. Let's get on to networking. You probably have heard this word and you start to think, I'm an introvert, right? How many of you say, oh no? How many say, oh no, I'm an introvert. I don't like to meet people. Let me know in the chat if that is you. There we go. Come on, you guys. I know I want to see more than just Ann Monroe. Come on, there you go. Lynn, and there you go. Min is one as well. Now, this is because you hear that word networking, and I think it's because you've been taught it the wrong way. And so I want us to go back to the definition of what networking really is. Got this from Webster's Dictionary, right? It's just simply interacting with other people to exchange information. It's what we're doing here tonight. It's what we're doing here this week. To do what? To develop contacts, to especially further one's career. You all are here because you want to further your career. You want to learn how to do things. And I'm here to share with you how you can actually do that, how I can actually help you do that. And so that's what networking really is. It's just an exchange of information to help each other out. Now, even if you have a nonprofit, you want to build connections, you want to get more donors. Now, let's take a closer look at results in your life and how that happens. Now, I believe that there are two things you need to know to live your dream life. If you want to build a powerful network, if you want to reach those income goals, get truly wealthy, find that financial freedom, you need to know two things. You need to know exactly where you are today, and then you have to have a goal. You need to know where you're going. Now, if it's that simple, I get a lot of people say, John, is it really that simple? Absolutely. But guess what gets in the way? Why are so many people stuck? There is a word, it's called paradigms. You see it there in red. The paradigms get in the way. And what is a paradigm? A paradigm is a mental program. So let's take a look at our mind. A paradigm is a mental program. That's something that you do that's habitual. 96 to 98% of what we do on a daily basis is pretty much already pre-programmed. You ask any of the top leading neuroscientists, Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, they'll all tell you pretty much the same exact thing. In order to change our thinking, in order to change our results, we have to really work on changing our mind. Now, the problem is what? We think in images, we think in pictures. Now, Bob shared this with me, and he shared it with millions all over the world. The most valuable lesson he ever learned was to create, actually not to create, someone else created it in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet created the image of the sick person to gain an understanding, to gain an image of the mind in order for us to then be able to change it. So let's take a look at the wonderful sick person. Now, before I touch on that, let me again remind you what a paradigm is. It is a mental program that has almost complete control and exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And almost all of your behavior is habitual. From the time you get up in the morning to the amount of money that you earn, it is a program. And when the paradigm stays in control, nothing changes at all. So it's a really black and white deal, right? Doesn't matter how hard you try or how many hours you put in, you work harder, you think things are going to get different. If you don't change those paradigms, if you don't override them, ultimately the results are going to pretty much remain the same. We'll be back here a year from now, wondering what went wrong. And that's why we need to understand how we can work on changing our mind. How can we change our results? By changing our thinking. Well, thankfully, as I said, in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet created this image. He said, we have a problem in the healing arts, treating symptoms, not causes. Now, this is at its very simplest level, a picture that we use to actually work on understanding our mind. We call it the sick person, right? The top half represents your conscious mind, your thinking mind. The bottom half represents your emotional mind, the educated mind. So here's a better diagram. We have been operating. We've been programmed to operate mostly from our five senses, right? What we see here, taste, touch, and smell. Now, as I said, we have our conscious mind. That is our thinking mind. That's the rational mind. It has been what has been causing us to get the results we have up until now in our conscious mind. And then we have a subconscious mind. Now, that is the emotional mind. It has no ability to differentiate between what is right or wrong. And we have physical effect of whatever is impressed upon the subconscious mind is then expressed in the body. Now, the old model of building a network, of achieving goals, this is the old model. And this is what almost everybody, 97% of people, have been running their lives with. And so they've been allowing their results to cause them to think a certain way. So maybe we see a lack of money in our bank account that causes us to get nervous, causes us to have worry, fear, and doubt. Those feelings stir an emotion in the body, right? Which has a certain vibration. Everything is vibrating. And that emotion, that vibration causes something then in the body. It causes you to act out in a certain way, giving you the results. Now, everything you're seeking is seeking you. So what do you think you're going to attract if you're operating from a place of fear, anger, worry, and doubt? More of the same. So what do we need to do? To build a powerful network, to achieve great goals, we have to change our programming. We have to move just like a radio station. When you don't like the music, when you don't like your results, it's time to change them. What do we need to do? We need to go find a new station. We need to go find that success frequency and start listening to that. Right? Just as you don't, when you change the channel, that music's already there. And so whatever you want is already there. We just need to tap into it by doing a few things differently. And so I love this quote by Albert Einstein. He said, the intuitive mind is a sacred gift and the rational mind is a faithful servant. What has happened these days? We become numbed out on social media, right? Worrying about TikTok and how many likes we have and followers and all this stuff. And yet we created a society, right, that honors a servant and has forgotten the gift. The intuitive mind, the ability to dream, the ability to create great things and know that we are unstoppable. Now, the new model, this is the new model to build the right kind of thinking, the right kind of network, and the right kind of message. The new model is this, that we actually have the thoughts that we want to have. They cause the feeling, which causes us to act a certain way, which then gives us results. Now, how do we operate with this new model? Well, thankfully, we have been gifted these 6 higher mental faculties, our intuition, right? People call them hunches. There's no hunch. It's actually part of who you are. If you listen, you always get the answers. We have our imagination, the greatest gift we've ever been given, right? The workshop to the soul, the ability to dream whatever we want, the ability to say, I want to build a partnership and a relationship and a network with people like Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, doesn't matter, Oprah Winfrey. We have our perception. Nothing is either good or bad, big or small. It's just how we perceive it to be. Start to change how you look at things. Our memory. There's no such thing as a bad memory. We have a weak memory. You can work on strengthening that. We have our will, the ability to focus on something to the exclusion of all other things, to hold the image of one thing in our mind and then stay laser focused and disciplined. And then we have reason. Separates us from the animal kingdom, the ability to think, the ability in each moment to choose the thought that we're going to think about. Now, what has happened in the old model is that we've allowed the old programming to allow us to choose the same thoughts, even though we thought we were in control. So it comes back to this. What is it that you want? Not what you think you can get. What do you really want? Because most people, if they have a goal at all, they set very, very small goals. So what do you want? I want you to start to think today and the rest of this week about what do you truly, really want? Who do you want in your network? What kind of results do you want for your life? What do you want for your business? Not what you think you can get. Don't worry about the how, but start to really focus on what is it that you want. Robert Heinlein, I love his quote. He says, in the absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Just look at your day today. How much time did you spend on social media? How much time are you watching TV? How much time was devoted to really going after your dream life, to building the network that you want, to creating those relationships? And so everything that your heart desires is waiting for you. I learned this from Bob Proctor, right? He said, John, you need to set C-type goals. I said, what are those, Bob? He said, well, look, A-type goals are stuff you already know how to do. You want to get a new car? You already know how to do that, John. You've had a car. B-type goals are what you think you could get. He said, you want to go after C-type goals. Those are the wants. Purpose of a goal is not to get something. It's to cause you to grow. It's to cause you to stretch, to pull out something inside of you. Now, how many of you actually have a C-type goal? Let me know in the chat. I know some of my clients, if they're on here, you all better put yes in that chat. But how many of you have a goal and have it written down? Donato does. Fernanda does, of course. Vernice, yes. Channing, great. Brittany, awesome. Anne, excellent. Abby and James, Min, beautiful. Sydney, excellent. All right, beautiful. So we want to work on C-type goals. Now, how do we do that? Well, this is the goal creation process. This is a creative process in its very basic form. We walk our clients through this all the time. What did I say? We want to use our imagination. We want to start to dream again. Who is it that you want to build a powerful network with? Who do you want in your life? What kind of income do you want to make? What kind of money do you want to earn? Build the fantasy in your mind using your imagination. And guess what happens? You start to get emotionally involved. You start to change the way you do things, the way you talk, the way you think. You start to change who you surround yourself with. And you hold the vision of the goal of the wish fulfilled, of the person you wish to become. You start to see it has already been accomplished. Because everything's created twice, right? Once in the mind, and then it then manifests itself into physical reality. That fantasy then becomes a theory. It turns into a goal. We have to know where we're going. Now, the only thing, 2 questions you have to ask yourself is, am I able to do what I want? Absolutely. You're capable of doing anything you want. Second question is, am I willing to do what it takes? And this is where most people get stuck. They're not willing to do what it takes. They come up with the excuses, right? And that's where the old paradigms kick in. But when you say yes to both those questions, when you are unstoppable, that you're willing to go all in, that you're willing to die for what you want, because you're dying for what you don't want, what happens? Theory turns into effect. And then you start to set new goals. And when you reach your C-type goal, you realize you could have gone even further. And then guess what? You set a new goal. And then new challenges, new paradigms will crop in. But now you have the experience and the tools to override those and actually bust through those terror barriers, right? And so this is what we do. We create the idea. We put the idea of what we truly, really want in our conscious mind. We get emotionally involved in that. How do we do that, John? Well, guess what? You start writing it out. You can do vision boards. You can do visualization. You can start to record what we have our clients do, create a life script where they see themselves a year from now and they actually record it in the present tense. But you start to get emotionally involved. Remember, feeling is the secret. It's not enough simply to want something. And then what? That new emotion, that new excitement actually gets impressed into the body, and the body starts to act in a new way. That new action causes new results. Now, the feedback, knowing that you thought differently, that you got emotionally involved, and that you achieved new results, that is what learning is. It's not what they teach you in school. And you do this by overriding those old paradigms and programming, right? Everything you're seeking is seeking you. Awareness really is the key. Now, when you can actually start to work on this foundation of changing your thinking, you can start to now then say, this is who I want to create a network with. This is who I want to partner with. This is who I want to joint venture with. And so I want to encourage all of you, when you write out your goal, to write it out in a very certain way. I am so happy and grateful now that I am. And write it out and put a specific date to it. All my clients, we have them all do this. Learn this from Bob Proctor. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning $1 million by December 31st, 2021, whatever it is for you. But write out your goal in a very specific way. Now, I know for the sake of time, I have 7 steps. We'll cover 3 of these tomorrow. I want to now get into, great, Brittany, I'm glad you used your affirmations. I now want to now get into, we're going to go over 4 of the steps of how you can connect to anybody in the world. So now that we've got the right thinking, we've built the right foundation, knowing that we are unstoppable, unlimited. We're very clear on what it is that we want and who we want to connect with. We go to step 1. We make a decision. How many of you, I want to see some names in the chat. Who is the one person, you guys, if you would meet that person over the course of the next 12 months, would change everything for you and your business? I want to see some names in the chat. Who is it? Who would that be? Mark Cuban, great, Channing. Who else? We have Oprah. Yes, we always get Oprah. I know Fernanda's going to put in Joe Dispenza in there. Who else, you guys? If you met that person, there we go. I don't know who it is, or I'd be reaching out. Sydney, okay, great. But that's where we want to start to now dream again. We want to start to think, who is it that I would love to partner with that could help take my business, change the whole trajectory of what I'm doing? Besides me, yes, Les Brown, James Malinchek, John. Thank you, John. Thank you guys. Master P and Kevin Gates. Who else? RT should put that in there. Who else would you guys like to meet? So the first step in really deciding, LeBron James, great, Kimberly, Les Brown, wonderful. The first step, Sadhguru, Elon Musk. All right. First step is you make a decision. I want you to think about who is it that you want to meet, and then who do you want, and then why. Now, when I see these names in here, why do you want to connect with them? Now, if it's just by meeting them, shaking their hand, being in their same place, if that's going to change everything for you, then that's great. But if it's because you want something more, you want to develop some kind of partnership relationship, that you have something that if they were to get involved would help change and transform your life and the world, then make that your reason. And then say, be mentored by them. Thank you guys. I see a lot of chat. Mark Cuban, great. And then make a list. Start to make a list of the 10 people that you want to connect with personally and professionally. Now, the second step is you want to do research. This is so critical and so crucial. You want to get to know about the person. You want to find out what is important to them. Because look, most of the people on that list, all you guys wrote, right? They all have achieved the pinnacle of their careers. They have all the money that they want. They have the fame and accolades that they could always desire. So that's when the paradigms kick in and say, well, what in the world would John or Abby have to offer that person? Well, that's why you want to do the research. You want to find out what is really important to them. You've got the ability on social media to find out so much. What are their likes and their dislikes? Where are they from? Where did they go to school? Do they have a family? Do they love to travel? Do they love reading books? What kind of books? What kind of charities are they involved in? Hobbies, travel, alumni, civic organizations, music, art. Gather as much information as you can. Now you're starting to build an understanding of who they are and what is important to them. Now, the third step is getting to know the infamous gatekeeper, right? Or as I call them, the gatekeepers. I believe that they are, and I always talk about, you're only 2 people away from anyone in the world that you want to connect to. And if you haven't seen my TEDx talk yet, make sure you go listen to that. I share with you how I can actually prove that. And so I believe that you are only 1 or 2 connections away. So start to research now who is in that, what I call the 1 connection away, which is that main inner circle. That's usually like the agent or the lawyer, the business manager, right? The PR person, the executive assistant. Start to research them and start to look for commonalities, start to look for connections of somebody who may know that person who may know somebody you know. And then research what I call the second person removed, the outer circle, and then start to reverse engineer. You know, LinkedIn has this tool, I think it's back there now. It actually shows you who you know, who knows somebody else who knows the person you want to meet. So make it very simple for you. So start to gather your information, start to gather your research. The 4th step is what? Is something that, and this has allowed me, every person you saw on that list of the people and the relationships I built have been built this way. I call it little things for big connections. And what is that? Let me talk about that for a minute. It is, after understanding what is important to a person, it is doing those little things, those small little favors, those small things that you know are going to make a huge impact to somebody, to help you get in the door, to help you build that relationship. Now, I've done this. I did it with Bob Proctor. Bob had no idea who I was 6 years ago, right? But he played one song. And I think many of you heard me tell this story, right? I went and found the singer of the song, got him to autograph that album for Bob. You know, I was grateful to see him last November in his house. That framed album, I got autographed to Bob, sits in Bob's bathroom. He told me he sees it every morning. That's what's possible when you guys start to use your imagination, when you start to do the research and start to pay attention. When you start to focus on knowing that not the how is important, but the what that you want. Billionaire in India used to fly me to London all the time, right? First thing we do is go to the most exclusive department store in the world, Harrods, head down to the basement to go to Krispy Kreme donut. They didn't have Krispy Kreme donuts in India at the time. Now I wanted to develop a better relationship with this person. So what did I do? Next time I got invited to India, I lugged a box of donuts over there. They were absolutely destroyed by the time I got to India. But guess what? I saw the look in his face. It's probably one of the only times that someone has ever done anything for him. Why? Because all of the people on your list, all the people that you guys named, always have people wanting something from them. And that's not about building relationships. That's about manipulation. So when you actually start to care about people and want to do something that's going to touch your lives, and then without having any expectation of the result. So I want you to make a list of 10 people. Stay focused on your goal. Remember, no one you have to meet is going to cause your goal to happen. You're going to cause your goal because you hold it to believe it to be true, and then you're going to do the work every day. Don't worry about the how, right? God fills in the details. Popcorn, that's how I started with Les Brown, right? I'd send him a popcorn. He was in the hospital. I know he loves popcorn. Another client loves yo-yos. I found somebody who hand carves yo-yos. Now, all these things cost very little money, but they were all something that made a huge impact and have led to me being able to build that absolutely amazing network. And guess what happens? This is the kind of thing that happens. You can sit on podcasts of the Fighting Entrepreneur with people like Anik Singhal. You can meet prime ministers. You can work with legends. You can have the relationship of your dreams with an amazing woman. And you can then have a great relationship with my kids, bottom there, and my 2 children, right? You can sit in owners' boxes over in England and watch a Premier League soccer match. And you can be mentored and have a friendship and a partnership with people like Bob Proctor and Les Brown and Sonia Riccati. That's what's possible when you actually work on doing these 3 things. Getting clear on the right kind of thinking, getting clear on what you truly want. What is the message that you tell yourself? And then what is the message that you're telling the world? We'll touch a little bit more on that tomorrow about really how do we really now keep that self-confidence, that clarity, and that self-image to go about and continue to get what we want in our life. And then connect. How do you connect now to the right kind of network? How can you build a network like this for yourself? And that's what's possible when you implement these strategies. All right, let me just stop sharing my screen for a second. And that's what's possible. Now, this requires you what? To surrender. Requires you to surrender to that old model. Now, who found, I hope you all found great value in that. Let me pull up the chat real quick. Touch your life into me. Absolutely. Thank you, Channing. Let me know also, you guys, give me some feedback. How was that? Did you find great value in that? Absolutely. And then great. And it requires, what was I saying? You have to surrender to the old model. It takes a lot of courage, you guys, to admit, look, my way wasn't working. Now, I believe that the wealthy people of the world, the top 3% of the people, it's not by luck. It's because they understand that there is a blueprint to success. Thank you, Bernice. And they understand that there's a certain way that they think, act, and operate. And it's all based on law. It's all based on understanding the laws of success. Now, in order to make quantum leaps in your life and show you how to network and connect to the right kind of future, that's what we're here to do this week. That's what we're here to guide you with. And so make sure you're using your workbook. Make sure you go through that tonight and do the exercises that we have in there for you. We have the replays available for you. And then Fernanda's going to come back on in a second. We have some really fun, really neat, this is really going to make a huge impact with you, homework. It's something that's a lot of fun. And so remember that success is a system, right? Those top people in the world, they don't see failure as an end, but they see it as an opportunity. And they turn everything and every problem into results and rewards that they want in their life. So again, a reminder, the 3 things that we talked about and touched on tonight, starting with, you have to develop the right kind of thinking, combine that with unwavering faith and an unshakable belief. We'll touch on that a little bit tomorrow. Second of all, you have to get clear on what you truly really want, knowing that if you're able and willing to do it, it is yours. And then the third thing is that we're all in this together, right? I like to say that we're all a unique part, a unique individual piece of that universal puzzle. And you decide who you want as part of your puzzle. You decide who you want to create as part of your network, and then go out and create it. And then let's radically change what we've been doing. Now, I hope you got great value out of today's session. Make sure you come back tomorrow at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And again, we're here. The whole team is here for you to help you find greater happiness, wealth, joy, and abundance, and to show you how to really network your way into the results that you want into your life. All right. So now I'm going to have Fernanda come back on, share with you guys the assignment that we have for you to do. Don't forget, for those of you who show up every day, which I know is going to be all of you, and take action, even if you're watching the replays, do the homework, let us know you did it. And then Friday, we're going to be giving away our $1,000 coaching program. So Fernanda, thank you very much.
All right, that was amazing. That information was super valuable. I was taking notes. I saw a lot of comments, and I mean, I think day 2 is going to be absolutely even more amazing, because we're going to be building on everything that we talked about today. And so make sure that you come in ready to learn, because tomorrow is going to be today plus everything else. So everything's combined, nothing's individual, nothing happens individual, guys. You can't be successful just by doing one thing. It's not about doing certain things, but it's about doing things in a certain way. And that's what we're going to be teaching you and covering more about that tomorrow. So the assignment is the roadmap to your 6-figure network. It is an assignment that we came up with the whole team, and it's a very powerful assignment. I want you to take your time to do these assignments. I want you to really put your thoughts into it. You can really answer these questions in 5 minutes, or you can really take your time and go through these and really put a lot of thought into it. And if you do that, I guarantee you that you're going to feel different. You're going to think different. You're going to have a release of energy. You're going to provoke a lot of imagination, a lot of thinking that perhaps you don't necessarily give yourself the time to on a more frequent basis. And so really take the time. This is for you guys, and I guarantee you that you're going to find it very valuable if you take the time to do it. And also, we do have questions in the workbook, so make sure that you're also checking that out. I'm going to post the link in the chat for the homework, and we're also going to be sending it by email. So, and by text. So make sure that you guys are checking all of the forms of communication. We are sending you text messages and emails primarily, or messages on Facebook. All right. So that is how you're going to be able to download it and fill it out. Once you do that, take a picture of it and post it in the Facebook group, or put it as a story in your social media, and tag us please at The Million in You, or tag John, or tag me. I would love to be able to read your answers. I would love to be able to give you guys feedback. I'm sure John would love to be able to see also where you are and what kind of things we can help you to take your life and your business and your results to the next level. All right, so make sure that you come back tomorrow. We will be back here at 8 o'clock on time. Make sure once again that you're ready to go. And if you have any questions left from today, I know that a lot of people were posting questions, and John was answering questions as he was speaking. So if you're still having any questions, make sure that you write them down. We want to make sure that you have all of your questions answered. We will be having a Q&A on Friday. So if you have still any questions from here, from today, from tomorrow, make sure you join us Friday, and we can answer any leftover questions on Friday during our Q&A. All right, I think that concludes our day for today. Thank you everybody for joining, for showing up, for giving yourself this time, for learning, and for giving us and for spending this beautiful time with us, and raising this space and this energy. So have a wonderful night, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.